Hey BookTube, this is Caitlin from my channel Bandy's Books, and I am just here for my weekly Sunday update. So, it's been a weird week. So I always do life updates and channel updates, and then I get into books that I've read and what I hope to read. So for life updates, so this last week, a couple cool things happened. I had my appointment, my 7-week post-surgical appointment, and everything went really well. My doctor said that I am healing up really well and basically lifted all restrictions on me, basically. So I'm able to go back to pretty much everything. That doesn't mean that I'm able to do everything. It just means that I'm able to start rehabbing aggressively. So that's good. This week, I have been making it a point to get to the gym every single week, or every single day to try to start that rehab process. Fitness is really bad after almost 2 months of not being able to do anything. I'm in probably the worst shape I've been in many, many years, if ever. But that's okay. I know how to rehab. This is my 3rd surgery, so I will rehab well. So yeah, sounds good. Take it easy though. I like I said, this is the 3rd time I've been through surgery rehabilitation. 2nd time through the abdominal walls, so I do know how to do this pretty well. But I'm definitely dealing with a high level of fatigue just because of the inactivity for 2 months. So I've been feeling really, really fatigued this week. I had all these plans for videos and things, and I just haven't found the energy to film, or not film, but to edit and get stuff up. So I'm sorry about that. My goal was to have a bunch of stuff up as of the 1st week of the month, but health is, the priority right now. And then today we said goodbye to our foster kitten, Domino. We dropped her off at her forever home this afternoon, about 1 p.m. my time. It's 5 p.m. now, so 4 hours ago. So that was very hard. This was my first time officially fostering a pet. And, it's like you go in with an attitude of I'm not going to get attached. I know that this is not my permanent animal, but it's super hard not to get attached, obviously, when you have a little fuzzy critter, especially in the case with Domino, where she was so small when we got her and I was having to bottle feed her around the clock and everything. It's impossible to not get attached. So that was not the easiest this afternoon. I don't know if you can tell, but my eyes are still a little bit puffy because I definitely had a good cry about it. But the good news is that Domino's family is lovely. Actually, I want to show you something that the mom knit for me. Just a minute. So Domino's Forever Mom knit me or crocheted this little Domino stuffed animal for me as a thank you for taking care of Domino at the beginning. And so I thought that was really sweet. But yeah, it's a little weird getting home and having all the stuff gone and not hearing Domino running around and stuff. So feeling a little emotional about all that today, but that's okay. Overall, both of those things are positive, even if they don't necessarily feel extremely positive at the moment. So channel, I'm hoping that things will even out this week. I am starting back at work on Wednesday, but I'll be starting back part-time. So I'm only going to be doing 4-hour shifts, basically 4 days out of the week, just to give my body some time to adjust. Because as I mentioned, physically, I'm just not, I don't have the endurance and the strength that I would need to do the normal 12-hour days that I do, lifting heavy stuff all day long. So we're going to start with 4-hour shifts for a couple weeks and see how that goes. I wish I could take more time off, but unfortunately it's time for me to get back to work. And so I don't want to make a huge amount of promises in terms of channel content for the next couple weeks, because I imagine I'm going to be feeling really tired as I get back into the swing of things. My goals this week are to get up my TBR for July, since we're already a week into July, my book of the month predictions, and my aardvark predictions. Those 3 are the main goals. If I get those up and I have extra energy, maybe I'll get up 1 or 2 other things, but that at a minimum is what I would like to get up. I feel like that is attainable, as I have most of the filming done and it's just kind of sitting down and editing. So we'll see. Now, I'm hoping that after this week, I should be through that transitional phase and kind of getting back into the normal. And then towards the end of July, I should hopefully be back to a better level of energy and just a little bit more equipped to, deal with like life, work, videos, all that kind of stuff. I do have a ton of content shot. I know I've said this many times, but I think I have about 20 videos shot where I just need time to sit down and edit. So now that I don't have a little kitten crawling all over me, begging for attention constantly, maybe I'll be able to focus a little bit better on that. Some other cool things. So I got a ARC this week. This is Dissonance by Aaron Ryan. This is a sci-fi alien invasion trilogy. Kind of has video game vibes on the front cover. So this author reached out to me maybe 2 weeks ago and is pitching his books. And supposedly he's also in talks with Netflix about maybe converting this into a TV show or a movie. I'm not sure what level of that process they're into, if it's just a discussion or if it's actually something that's conclusive. But he was looking for some people to check out the prequel of the story. It's not super, super long, and I do really love sci-fi, and I actually really enjoy like alien invasion. I like seeing what people can do with that. And this is a pretty nice print of this book, so I'll be checking that out. And he wrote a nice little note in the front cover. So that'll be on the TBR somewhere this month. As for reading this month, I really didn't get a whole lot of reading done. Well, I mean, I did, but there's only one book that I can really talk about. So I finished one of the books for the BookTube Prize. I have a couple books left. I'm reading the nonfiction genre this month. And the one that I read was really long, so it took me most of the week. Between just like being fatigued and having a hard time focusing and everything, it just took me a lot longer than usual to get through that book. So I did finish that particular book. I think that is the longest book on my list of BookTube Prize books to read. So I think it's all a little easier from here. And then I read one of the books that I was really, really excited about this month, which is Tender as the Flesh by Agustina Basterica. So this was a fantastic read. It was brutal and horrific. There were moments that made me feel physically ill reading this, but the way that this handles the subject of like if humanity could no longer eat meat, and like approaching cannibalism was really interesting. I do not think that this book is overhyped. I've seen so many people review this and talk about how amazing it is, and it really lived up to it for me. Hey, Courtney, how's it going? So this for me, I was really impressed. This is a super short read. It's only 210 pages. It's a translation. I felt like everything read really smooth because, sometimes translations don't always read as smoothly, like depending how good the translator is. So it's clear that this was translated really well. And then the ending of this book, which I will not spoil at all, but just the ending of this was like really caught me off guard. I thought that it went in a direction that I didn't expect it to go, and I really, really appreciated this. I thought that this said a lot of really thoughtful things about the way that we produce food, about how we view the animals that we eat as food. Just in general, a lot of smart commentary on like veganism, and just there's so much. It talks about like how humans use their morals to like justify what they're doing. There's a lot of really fascinating topics. I plan to do a deep dive into this one just because I thought it was so interesting. Tender as the Flesh was good, just not what I expected. No, it's the same for me. It was a lot different than what I expected as well. I really liked it, and I liked it, I think, because it was different than what I was expecting. I'm still debating whether I want to read it. I think you should. I think it's going to be more graphic and a little more brutal than what you typically read, but also really thoughtful and really interesting. I was expecting horror killer vibes. I did appreciate the ending. Yeah, I thought kind of along the lines of like a little more horror-esque as well. And it's really more commentary on the human state with some horror vibes tossed in. But I think that made it really thoughtful and interesting. So I also started reading Chlorine Sky by Mahogany L. Browne. This is a whole entire story told in verse. It is coming of age. I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm not that far in, so I don't really have much to say about it yet. I do really enjoy this method of telling stories in verse, and it's not something I've read a whole lot of, but yeah, not bad so far. All right, so that is everything that I have read this week. Now let's talk about what I'm hoping to read next week. So next week, I am going to try to I can speak. Next week, I'm going to try to knock out one more book for the BookTube prize. I have a couple left, and so I'm hoping that if I get to one every single week, I will finish them before the deadline. So one of them will be finished next week. I know specifically which one, but unfortunately, can't really talk about it yet. I am planning, like, once the BookTube prize is over, like maybe the week that they're going to announce the BookTube prize, I'm going to plan to do a whole series of videos where I talk about each of the rounds that I judged and what I judged and how I judged it. I just thought that would be kind of nice leading up to the BookTube prizes. And then, so aside from BookTube prize reads, I have Floating in a Most Peculiar Way by Luis Chodé Soke. So this is Luis's memoir. So he was born in a country named Biafra. It is a bygone African nation. When he is a young man, his family moves to Jamaica, and then they end up in Inglewood, Los Angeles. And so this is about his experiences of assimilation, moving from culture to culture. And then I think this is during like the 80s and the 90s. So I think there's like a whole thing with David Bowie. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like that David Bowie lightning bolt on the front cover. So this sounds like a super interesting memoir. I love reading memoirs, and this is a book that I hadn't heard of, but I found at one of my bookstores that I visited in my trip throughout the Southwest. It was out front on their sale rack, and the cover was really striking. And then when I started reading what it was about, I was like, this is definitely a Caitlin book. So I'm hoping to get to this. I have Friday Black by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah on my TBR as well. This is a short story collection. I loved Chain Gang All-Stars, my favorite read of last year. I expect to really love this as well. I think Adjei-Brenyah is a fantastic writer. I've heard rave reviews of this short story collection. So when I've been doing my reading sprints on Monday mornings, I've been finding that reading short story collections works really well. Because, you know, they're quick and easy, and it fits with the reading sprints. So usually like within 1 to 2 sprints, I can finish a short story. So I think I'll probably start this tomorrow morning during my reading sprints. And then probably maybe not going to finish it this week, but I definitely want to start Mirrored Heaven by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the 3rd book in the Black Sun trilogy. And this is probably one of my most anticipated books of the year. Definitely my most anticipated series finale, I think, ever. This is one of my very favorite series ever, and I'm hoping that it's going to finish with a bang. So I had applied for a giveaway from Saga Press. They were talking about, okay, gotta go. Thanks for stopping in, Courtney. Have a good one. I'm looking forward to reading it. Cool. So this Saga Press was holding a giveaway, and it was for this ARC. And like I said, this is one of those books I was really highly anticipating. I actually considered special ordering the copy of it. And then I entered this giveaway just kind of like, whatever, we'll see. I never win those things. So I ended up winning, and they sent me this ARC. And not only is it a nice ARC, but it is a signed copy by Rebecca Roanhorse as well, which I was not expecting. I've never received a signed ARC before. So I don't usually keep paperbacks, but I think in this case, I'm going to keep this paperback. I'm going to probably still buy a hardback copy of it to go with my series, but just because this is a nice signed ARC, I think I'm going to keep it as well. And the final book that I'm hoping to maybe start, probably not finish, we'll see, depending how compelling it is Little Rat by Akwaeke Emezi. This is another one of those books that I was like really, really anticipating. I love Emezi's writing. This, from what I understand, is a horror novel. Emezi always has really interesting things to say. So their writing, is kind of subversive. Their writing is really like often critical with really heavy themes. They really like to kind of push the envelope, no matter what genre they write. And so I'm really, really excited to dive into this. This is a book that I've also been hearing really good things about so far, although it just released. So I've only heard like 1 or 2 reviews. But yeah, super, super hyped for this one. Hi, I'm still reading Good Half Gone by Tarryn Fisher. Awesome. Well, if you need help getting through it, I have reading sprints tomorrow morning. I know that you like to pop into them sometimes. So if you're around, feel free to stop by and we can hopefully knock out some books together. So that is pretty much everything. We talked about life, talked about channel updates, talked about what I've read this week, which was not very much. And we have talked about what I'm hoping to read next week. So if you missed the beginning of it, just, I'm trying my best to get back into the swing of things. I got approval this week from my doctor to start working out and kind of moving back to more normal. Actually got all of my restrictions lifted, which is a really positive thing, but it's also now time for me to start rehabbing very seriously because I'm returning to work and all of that. And so because of that, I've been, working out and trying to get back into things, but it's leaving me really fatigued just because I've been 2 months without really any workouts at all. So again, I'm going to try to get back into the consistency of posting in the upcoming week, but just be patient with me if it's not the most consistent. It's just, I'm really dealing with a lot of fatigue and things from getting back into life and activity. So awesome. I sure will. Sorry, I thought this was a sprint, lol, didn't read correctly. That's okay. Yeah, I'm only going to be doing the sprints on Mondays. I originally thought I was going to try to do one more sprint during the week, like maybe on Thursdays, but I think at this moment it's just, I'm trying to do a little too much. And I want to focus on just doing a handful of things well instead of doing 1,000 things not so well. But in August, if I'm feeling a little bit like I have more energy, I'll probably add a second sprint back in. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Have a good week. Same to you, Sheila. Thank you so much for stopping in. Lots of little hearts. Thank you, guys. So that's really the end of this update. Not a lot to talk about today. Hopefully we'll have more to talk about next week. I anticipate that we will as I transition back to work and I get started reading more and, getting back into the usual. And if anyone's interested as well, my mom and I have a giveaway that we're running over on Instagram. My Instagram is the same as my channel title, Bandy's Books, and my mom is LFL Book Adventures. There's some pretty cool prizes on there as far as there's 4 winners. So it's a 1-month subscription to Aardvark that gives you 3 books, book off your wish list, or we have a stack of books that people can check or ask for books from. So if you are interested in that giveaway, feel free to pop on over to our Instagrams and say hello over there, check that out and sign up. So other than that, I hope everybody's having a really good weekend, and I hope that this upcoming week is really positive for you all. I think it's going to be very positive for me, kind of a turning over a new leaf, getting back into the swing of things. Kind of feels like a new chapter starting. So hopefully it will be. All right, everybody, thank you for stopping in, and I will talk with you soon. Take it easy. We all understand. Thank you. Bye, guys.